On your radio at AM 1590. On the web, plus Google Home and Alexa. Ask for us by name. WPSL Digital 1590.
10:07 at WPSL, the talk of the Treasure Coast. Time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World in the historic arcade building across from City Hall, US 1 between Orange Avenue and Avenue A in downtown Fort Pierce. This morning, a very special guest host. It's Dr. Ravi Week from Family Chiropractic in the Tradition.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. And we're today, away from the normal subjects of nutrition and supplements, we're going to talk about chiropractic today.
Of course. I'm glad everyone is having a great morning and hope it continues that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking a lot about chiropractic, what I get to do every day.
We got your back.
We do.
And we're not just pulling your leg.
Exactly. A Tradition Family Chiropractic.
Yep, and we have a line open. Lines are open for questions for Dr. Ravi this hour. So if you go ahead and get it started, folks will start formulating their questions and calling in at 340-1590. They're welcome to do that.
Yeah, so I just want to start off with the breathing exercise. We can't forget with Joanne's trademark here.
Absolutely. And not only that, but it's also good for you because it'll take the stress and tension off right now. In fact, I bet it could even lower your blood pressure. Try this before you get your blood pressure test and see what happens.
It definitely will.
Yeah. And we'll do it like we usually do it, about 3 times.
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll do like about 5 seconds breathing in through the nostrils only. Close your mouth and breathe in through the nostrils, and this is how we'll do it. I'll count you down 5 seconds to do the nice slow inhalation. Then you hold it for 5 seconds. Then you let it out in 5 seconds, nice and slow. Are you ready to start?
Let's do it.
All righty. Mouths closed, and with the nostrils only, start your inhalation. Oh, first let everything out. It's all out. Okay, and start your inhale now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may now resume your normal breathing habits.
Nice. Great way to get more
Feel
oxygen to the brain.
Yeah, it does. It kind of forces it, too. And
yeah.
When you hold it for 5 seconds, I think it dissipates all the oxygen in the air that you've inhaled. It puts it where it needs to be and clears your mind. My goodness.
Mental clarity, important.
That's what it does? Yes.
I hope everyone's mind is clear to hear some great information on chiropractic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to start off with introducing myself. So I'm Dr. Ravi over at Tradition Family Chiropractic. And today I want to speak about chiropractic because what we do in our office is vastly different from many other chiropractic offices that are around here locally. And that's what basically differentiates us from the rest of other offices and clinics. In fact, when a patient walks through our office, the first and foremost thing that our patients understand is what chiropractic is. And so I'm going to go through some history. Everyone loves history, but I think it's very important for our people and community to know where chiropractic actually stemmed from and why it's so and how it's so accepted today in today's medical model care. And so when back in 1895, the founder of chiropractic, D.D. Palmer, discovered the power of chiropractic care from his first chiropractic adjustment to Harvey Lillard. And so Harvey Lillard was a deaf janitor. And so after that first adjustment, Harvey regained his hearing.
He regained his hearing?
He regained his hearing. And it improved significantly his quality of life. And when you think of Harvey Lillard, who is a janitor, you think of all the stress, all the different motions, movements. Think about mopping the floors, sweeping, vacuuming, taking care of buildings.
So being a chiropractor now, can you look back and maybe tell us how did he lose his hearing from his job? And how did chiropractic help him get his hearing back?
That's exactly what I'm going to go through today.
Goodness.
Yes, I'm so excited because this is, many people think of chiropractic as just neck pain doctors, back pain doctors, but we deal inherently with the nervous system, which controls everything. Yeah. And so through different life circumstances, through stress, car accidents, slip and falls, through, just picking something up off the floor, that can misalign a vertebra of the spine, leading to a disease. And so with this history from, 1895 to where we are now, we have so much technology that we're able to pinpoint these areas. And what I love about chiropractic is it's built on 3 different pillars. And so I look at it as a stool. So these 3 pillars are basically the pieces, the legs of the stool for us to practice on. And so these pillars is basically built on principles. And so the first one is philosophy. And so chiropractic has a philosophy that the body is made to heal. It's amazing how 2 cells unite and grow us to trillions of cells later into a human being. And, that same intelligence that we have built within us allows us to heal without any kind of need for medications, drugs, or surgeries.
If you've ever had an infection, you'll know how amazing the human body is when it heals, when you do a hot compress, for example, on a small infection.
Yeah, you just give the body what it needs and it will heal.
As it hydrates, it grows skin right back, right before your very eyes sometimes.
Yeah, and I love to use that example, Cliff, with my patients because I say, okay, how is a scar able to heal? But why isn't your back pain healing? Why isn't your digestive system not healing well? And that comes along with that science, the next stool, the next leg of the stool. And so the science brings in, the nervous system. So the nervous system is comprised of the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. And it's protected by your spine. Just as the skull, protects the brain, which I think is very important, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. So just as the brain is protected by the skull, you have your spine, which is designed intricately to have 3 curvatures from the side view.
Right.
So from the side, when you're on the side, you should have 3 curvatures. And from the front, it should be straight, just as a pencil.
Okay.
And any deviation from those proper structures causes pressure on the nervous system.
Well, how about, let's say, a smoker who does a lot of coughing could cough a rib out. Have you ever heard of that? They cough a rib out. It actually pops out in the backside from the where the vertebrae is. And if you know what you're doing, like a chiropractor can take and pop that
our hands,
right back in.
We move it right back in.
They put it right back where it goes. And sometimes, if you're uncomfortable and you're laying just right or leaning up against a corner doorway or something, sometimes you can do it yourself, but it's painful. It's going to pop back into place. Get a hold of Dr. Ravi, and he'll do it quite delightfully.
I love doing those adjustments.
Really?
They respond so easy.
Yeah.
The patient responds so well to care because many times it's just one adjustment for that.
Instant relief, too.
And there's big relief. Yeah. What causes these subluxations or these misalignments to lead to pressure on the nerves is just like what you just said, coughing.
Yep.
So something simple as coughing or bearing down to use the bathroom can cause those bones to misalign, putting pressure on that nerve. And now the last leg of the stool is the art.
The art.
The art.
Right.
So here we are with the philosophy, our body's made to heal.
Yeah.
The science, the nervous system controls everything. And now the art.
Got it all covered.
And the art is actually the chiropractic adjustment.
Yeah.
Because in our practice, what we do, what makes us very specific is that we take digital x-rays.
Yeah.
And so that way there's no guesswork in what the spine looks like. And so we rule out any type of pathology, making sure it's safe for our community and patients to receive the care in our clinic.
Right.
And one fun thing I get to do in my office is I do structural correction, and I am level 2 certified in structural correction. So I love working with scoliosis.
Oh my, we're all familiar with that now.
Yeah. And so if you remember what I was saying in the beginning is your spine should be straight from the front and the back.
Right.
If you have any deviation of like curvatures, so a C curvature from the front and the back, that definitely decreases your, longevity to life, increases your chance of dis-ease.
Okay.
You get that dis-ease?
Yeah.
Disease?
Dis-ease.
Yeah. So your body's not able to function well. So it's
Right.
not at ease. And so with level 2 structural correction, what I get to do is I get to structurally correct the spine, put the bones back in its proper alignment, non-invasive care. So there's no surgery.
Wow.
And we do that through exercises and the adjustments that we do in our practice.
Okay.
And, it's not like having a rib out. This does take a process to
Right.
correct
Yeah.
because it does take some time to even get there.
Yeah, because sometimes it's maybe more than one rib, or maybe there's other problems with the individual vertebrae itself.
Yeah, with a scoliosis, you're looking at the segments above and below. You have to retrain the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles. And so that's why I see a lot of kids in my practice is because they either have scoliosis or their parents bring them in to make sure that they grow to be healthy adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with the art as well, so, regaining the curvatures back in the spine, very important. One that comes to my mind is a testimonial of a patient who came in about 6 months ago, a young mother, believes she's in her early 30s. She was in her early 30s. She came in with neck pain, and just going through her medical history, she was taking a medication for hypothyroidism. And so what hypothyroidism is when the thyroid gland, which sits right at the voice box area in your throat area, it basically produces hormones like thyroid stimulating hormone, T3, T4. And when those chemicals get out of balance, those hormones, then you're put on a medication to elevate those or to get that system working well. And so after looking into her history here, we take some x-rays.
Okay.
As we take the x-ray, I notice that there's pressure on her nerves that directly innervate the thyroid gland.
Okay.
And so as we continue working with Julia, we got pressure off those nerves. We retook some x-rays 3 months later, and no longer having the degenerative changes in her cervical spine. Her neck pain was gone.
Wow.
And she was no longer needing the hypothyroid medication, which was levothyroxine.
Okay.
Yeah, so, now she's referring all her friends and family in, and we don't, cure problems.
Right.
We just remove the interference.
Yeah. Yeah. Remove the item out of the place where it's in that's causing the pain.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have a question here.
All right.
Or someone on the line.
Jerry, you're on line
Yeah.
one. Hey,
Good
Jerry.
morning, Cliff. I'm sorry, I don't know the doctor's name.
Dr. Ravi is with us.
Oh, Dr. Robbie. Good morning, Dr. Robbie.
Good morning, Jerry.
When I was 17, I was ran over by a car,
Oh, no.
and we had been drinking, and everybody passed out in the car, and I think there was 5 of us, and so I woke up, I got out of the car, I walked to the front of the car, and I passed out, and my lower extremities were underneath the car, and the front tire was lined up with my stomach, solar plexus, if that's what you call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the driver woke up, he thought I walked home, and he started the car, and he ran over me, and before the rear tires got to me, I screamed, and he stopped the car, and they were able to lift the car enough off the springs to pull me out of there, And so I get spinal adjustments a couple of times a year. But I was wondering about, you said there were 3 sections of the vertebrae, and is there 26 vertebrae or 24?
There are 24 vertebrae that make up the spinal column.
So you had the lower would be the lumbar, and then the cervical, is that right?
Yeah, so the cervical spine is the one in the upper portion of your spine, so in through your neck.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I'm just trying to learn here, that's all, because I've had trouble with my back all my life, but I notice a lot of places for insurance reasons, if you're not wearing your back brace when you come to work, you have to go home and get it for insurance reasons, and I was just wondering what that what the you said 3 sections, and what I know, lumbar, cervical, and what's the other one?
The mid portion of your spine, which is in the middle back, is the thoracic region, and there's 12.
Thoracic.
Yeah, and there's 12 vertebrae there. You have 7 vertebrae in your cervical spine, in your neck, 12 in your mid back, and then 5 lumbar vertebrae.
Now I understand that years ago, they probably didn't know any better, but in the circus, a heavy set guy would put a piece of plywood over his stomach and lay flat on his back, and a car would go over him. And I just wondered, have you ever worked on people that, were maybe in the circus or, carny folk or anything like that?
Yeah, so I do work with a lot of gymnasts.
Gymnasts.
Yeah, and so gymnasts, anyone that's in the drama type of field, because if you look at their structure or their position of their work, they're putting a lot of stress on their spine. And so, those are great people to take care of, because without their health, they're unable to do that type of work.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate, all the, spinal adjustments that I've gotten over the years, and I just would like to say that it, it really helps, and it can really, because when your back goes out on you, you're helpless, and
yeah, it affects everything.
Yeah, affects everything. So thanks a lot, Doctor.
No problem. Stay tuned and listen to hear more information.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Jerry usually likes to hang up and listen to his answer, but he stuck with us this time because it's really dear to his heart.
Nice.
He's been there, done that, knows about chiropractor's work, and hey, if you have any questions, feel free to call 340-1590. Dr. Ravi will be glad to answer your chiropractic-related questions right here on the air. Wow. So, Joanne would right about now say, hey, should we take a break? Of course. Well, actually, see a chiropractor before you make a break. But you know what? If it's not broke, they say don't fix it. You just might need to adjust it. And that's what we're talking about today on Joanne's World of Nutrition with Dr. Ravi from Family Chiropractic and Tradition. Whoa. And we'll be right back with more.
Guiding the Treasure Coast in health, one person at a time. That's their motto at Joanne's Nutrition World, Suite 121, in the historic arcade building on US 1, downtown Fort Pierce. Joanne brings more than 25 years of experience in the natural health industry, right here to you. Take advantage of this free personal guide to wellness and good health. Meet with Joanne herself and get started. Nutrition World always provides you with the hottest new product lines, natural and homeopathic remedies, herbals, and best of all, expert advice from the people who care. Call Joanne at 464-3598, 464-3598, and learn the correlation between diet and great health. Stop in today. The expert guidance to health is always free at Nutrition World. Nutrition World, Suite 121 in the Arcade Building, US 1, downtown Fort Pierce.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history, encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
Welcome back to Joanne's World of Nutrition this week with Dr. Ravi from Family Chiropractic and Tradition. And once again, here's Dr. Ravi here to answer your questions about chiropractic care.
Good morning again. Glad to be back after that break. Cliff and I were actually just talking about How do you know you should get your spine checked?
Yeah.
He was telling me about his mom, how she had scoliosis, and that's basically curvatures in the spine from the front view, which, as we were talking about at the beginning of the show, the spine should be straight from the front and the back. So if you have the curvature in your spine in that front to back view, it's a scoliosis.
Yeah.
Depending on the curvature. And how do you know? You get x-rays taken.
now sometimes people who've got this problem, their shoulders will be a little crooked, but sometimes they're not. How dangerous is the surgery associated with scoliosis?
So the purpose of the surgery for scoliosis is just to maintain that curvature, making sure it doesn't get any worse. So they just stabilize it. And I urge you guys to look at the procedures on YouTube, that how they do it.
Absolutely.
And this is one reason why I do see kids, because that while they're growing, it affects their growth rate. It affects not only, them going through a hard procedure, but also it allows for the continuous pressure on the nervous system, leading to a problem later on. And so the best thing we can do is be more conservative in these approaches and seek someone that is certified in structural correction of the spine. And, the spine can change. And if you remember, I was talking about Julie, who came in with neck pain. Her cervical spine, she had lost 100% of that curve. Ideally, it should be 45 degrees from the side view, and she had lost 100%.
Wow.
And so, with our processes in our office, we don't guess, we test. So after taking a few series of x-rays and showing her that, oh, wow, we can get a curvature back of 30 degrees in your cervical spine, that will definitely, help you function better and decrease your pain, but also make sure that pain doesn't come back again.
Right.
So,
important.
a lot of problems that we do see is, and that I see in my practice, is that patients always have the same problem over and over and over, and they go into the chiropractic office and they get one adjustment and it fixes their problem. But we're more about getting to the source of it and structurally correcting it, and so that problem doesn't come back again. And so one thing I do want to go over here as well is going back to our philosophy of care. There's something called the Merrick chart, MERIC. This Merrick chart is amazing because what it does, it actually maps out the 24 different vertebrae of the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine, where these nerves go to, and what effects it has on the organs. So I just want to go over a few of these. And so the nerves directly from C1, these nerves at C1 will go right into your brain, middle, and inner ear. So when you have pressure on these nerves at C1, which can definitely come from sitting at a desk for too long, looking in an upward position for too long, or even in a downward position, what we call text neck today. So when you have this pressure at C1, it can cause blurriness, eye issues, so vision issues.
Not to mention if you are not watching where you go and you walk into a light pole or something.
Oh, we can run in bigger issues there. Reason to see the chiropractor.
Absolutely.
And also problems here can lead to headaches, nervousness, irritability, high blood pressure, chronic tiredness. I mean, you look at the bones that surround that C1 area, and right underneath that structure is your brainstem. And so when you have pressure on that brainstem, your body can't release the dopamine, serotonin, melatonin, which are great hormones for your body to work with inherently. And you look at the nerves at C4, those nerves at C4 will go right into the nose area. So patients that have sinus issues, allergies, and they're taking medication like Zyrtec, it only masks the issue. It never gets to the cause of the problem. And so with our direct objective findings, we're able to pinpoint those problems at C4 and get it adjusted. At C6 area, which is the second to last vertebra of the cervical spine, those nerves go right into the neck muscles. They go into the upper arms, into the shoulder. So when patients have neck pain or stiff neck, that's definitely with the nerve that's being compressed. Right at T1, which is the upper portion of the thoracic spine. So the thoracic spine is comprised of 12 vertebrae. And T1, these nerves will also go right into the lower portion of your cervical muscles, so the neck muscles. They also branch off and go right to the heart. And so when patients come in and they tell me, Doc, I have some pain going down into my arm, numbness and tingling, inside me, I'm definitely worried because I know those same nerves go right to the heart. And so I want to make sure they're functioning best to the best potential and they don't have a heart attack or a heart issue. So we definitely examine those areas to make sure that they're building health and not dis-ease. So we're looking at like T7 area. That's basically the mid portion of the mid back. Those nerves at T7 go right into the, you have a bunch of nerves all the way from the T3 to T7 that innervate the lungs. And so when you have pressure on the nerves go into the lungs, your lungs can't, adequately get enough oxygen. And so when your body's not getting oxygen, that's rough.
Trouble.
You're in trouble. You're building disease. And so, cancer, for example, hates oxygen. So if you're not getting proper oxygen to the body due to problems breathing, you're building cancer cells. And so your chiropractic adjustment, which gets pressure off that area at the thoracic area, helps your immune system tremendously. The T7 nerves also go right into the stomach area. So the stomach area is important for releasing acids and degrading proteins. And so when you have too much of an input of that nerve to that stomach area, it can cause where your esophagus and your stomach not to communicate well. So then you develop acid reflux or heartburn, and then might have to take medication. A better alternative, a more holistic way is seeking chiropractic for that. So you get pressure off the nerves so you don't have to take Prevacid or, Tagamet or, the Nexium, the purple pill. And what the research is showing today is, they've done long-term studies on these medications, and it does definitely lead to cognitive impairment as far as dementia and Alzheimer's go. So the choices that you make today definitely dictate where you are in the next 10 to 15 years. So this is another reason why to see a chiropractor for these problems. And your body's amazing. It develops these symptoms to tell you something's going on. So just listen to your body and get it checked. Now in the lumbar spine, you have 5 vertebrae. And these lumbar vertebrae from the side view, you should have that 45-degree curve as well. Any misalignments like at L3 vertebra, which is where the curvature starts occurring in the lower lumbar spine. If you have a misalignment at L3 nerve or a bone putting pressure on the L3 nerve, these nerves are going to go right into your reproductive organs. So the male and female sex organs, it goes into the lower back muscles, it goes into your bladder, and also goes down into your knees. So when you have problems on those nerves, it can lead to pain, but it can also lead to dysfunction of your organs, which we don't want. L5, these nerves are going to go right down into the lower legs, ankles, and your feet. So anyone that has neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy, definitely seek a route and making sure that you don't have pressure on these nerves. And when you do have pressure on the nerves, it's going to lead to dis-ease once again, lead to low muscle tone of your lower extremity. It can also lead to frequent falls, which is the number one reason why an elder visits a hospital is because of falls. And so when we get pressure off those nerves, you have better communication to your organs, your cells, and your tissues. One thing I do want to go over, what actually protects each vertebra and keeps everything fluid, is your discs. The discs act as shock absorbers. And so when you have, proper fluidity in your discs, your spine is more mobile. Now, what happens is when you lose the structures of your spine, that's when you develop dis-ease. That's when you start developing arthritis. And arthritis is never age-related issue. I always get these patients come in my office, Cliff, and they...
Getting old age setting in, right? Yeah, that's what they're saying. Well, that's the way we perceive it.
Yeah, that's what they're told by their doctors. I had a patient the other day come into my office with left knee pain. And she said, the doctor took some x-rays. I believe she was 67. The doctor took some x-rays, and they said it was old age. She has some arthritis developing, so they gave her anti-inflammatory. And so she comes in with low back issues, and I go through my chiropractic consultation with her, and she tells me this. Her doctor said it's just old age, and, she's given up hope. She probably has to live with this low back pain. And so I tell her, I'm like, Nora, how old is your right knee? And she's like, it's the same age as the left knee.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And there's
one, right?
no problems with your left knee.
Oh.
Yeah, and what that is, it's basically when there's too much stress to your joint, it starts to develop dis-ease, right? And not only dis-ease, but it also causes bone to lay down more bone because of that stress. Yeah. It's something we call, in science, Wolff's Law. So when you have too much stress on a bone, more calcium deposits are laid down. The body's trying to repair itself, but it starts repairing itself in a way where your body starts developing inflammation.
That's amazing. Now, where does it need a supplement to build on this? What is it? A calcium buildup?
Yeah. So with that calcium buildup, of course, we want to decrease that stress to that joint, right? So we would adjust the knee, make sure it get more blood flow, oxygen, circulation to that area. But also supplementation would be great. Something like glucosamine with chondroitin, making sure they're taking proper fatty acids.
Right. You have to be able to break down the calcium.
Yeah, and you know what? We can't take away the arthritis that's there, but we can prevent it from getting worse. We can prevent that bone from growing more bone and where it actually fuses, where we can't do work. And oftentimes, with the cervical spine, with the neck region, I'll get patients that come into my office and they've had years of problems. And when I take their x-ray, their whole spine in the cervical area is fused. Yeah. And it's too late. All I can do is palliative care to make them feel good and hope the body just decreases inflammation. And so this is why I'm always out in the community, inspiring and making sure people take care of their spine, because when it's fused, there's nothing we can do. And no doctor is going to go in there and take out the arthritis. No. They'll go in there and repair a disc, but if it's fused and the disc, there's no nutrients to the disc, there's no chance of that. But many times we don't see these people come through our office. I'll get some. But these people are more in an assisted living facility. They're, bed bound already. They're not moving. And so that's why typically the majority of the people in my office aren't that way. The majority of the people are still mobile, moving, and making sure we're correcting their spine. I love the science, which is one of the legs of our philosophy of chiropractic. And so I want to go through this one study here. And this study actually dates back 100 years ago. Ooh. Dr. Windsor. Okay. Dr. Windsor, what he did is he looked at 75 human cadavers and 22 cat cadavers. So he looked at humans and cats.
Now, why would he choose cats?
They have vertebrae, too. They have a spine.
And they stretch in all directions.
They do.
And they don't seem to have any problems.
They don't. They're mobile. They're very, very flexible. Okay. I wish we were that flexible.
Yeah.
So with these individuals and these animals, what they saw was out of the 97 subjects, the 75 and the 22 cats, and the 75 humans, he found 221 diseased organs of these individuals. And of the 221 organs, 212 found to be along the same nerve segment as the misaligned vertebra. So what he did in his lab is he looked at the diseased organ, right? And he traced it back, the nerve that went to the spinal segment. And he saw that there was pressure on those nerves that were exiting the intervertebral foramen of the spine. And so it's not a causation, but there's definitely a close correlation to the pressure on the nerves leading to disease, a disease process. And so this was a 95.9% correlation between a minor misalignment and a diseased organ.
Okay.
Yeah, and so with this study, I'm going to go right back along with some of the misalignments in the thoracic area with this study that he did. And so with heart disease, titled as high blood pressure, strokes, even high cholesterol, what he found was there's 100% correlation between the diseased heart and the nerves that controlled the heart. All 20 cases of the heart and pericardium conditions had the upper 5 thoracic vertebrae misaligned.
Wow.
So from T1 to T5, all of those nerves were misaligned, causing heart disease.
Oh.
And this is the number one leading killer in the United States is heart disease.
Yeah.
And number 2 is cancer, which by year 2020, not too far away, the World Health Organization has actually stated that cancer is going to surpass heart disease.
Wow.
Yeah. So you look at something like in the mid portion of the spine, what he found was stomach disease. So like acid reflux, indigestion. He found 100% correlation between the diseased stomach and the nerves which control the stomach. And all 9 cases of the stomach disease had misalignments in the mid-thoracic spine.
Okay.
I'm going to run right down into the lumbar spine, so the lower back. So prostate and bladder disease, so cancers as well. What he found was that there 100% correlation with all 8 cases of prostate and bladder disease had misalignments in the upper lumbar region. So from L1 to L3, those nerves going into the prostate as well as the bladder. The uterus for females, I see a lot of patients that have menstrual issues, infertility issues as well. And so what they found is that 100% correlation between those diseased organs with the nerves. So both the cases that they had were only 2. So both of the 2 cases of the uterine conditions had 2 misalignments. Had L2 misalignments. So those nerves at L2 and L3 run right into the uterus, the reproductive organs. So what's amazing here, Cliff, the main takeaway is the brain controls every organ, right, via nerves.
Okay.
It's that roadway, it's the highway, it's the pathway, and which leaves the spine at various levels of misalignments. And so, with this study, he showed us as chiropractors that these nerves, when there's pressure on the nerves, it leads to a problem. And so I just want to end here before I go into some announcements.
Okay.
And some events that I have coming up in my office that are
goody.
fun.
All right.
Our patients and community love these things because it empowers them for their health.
They get to come and experience and learn
And learn, yeah.
and
And when you're not learning, what's happening?
nothing. You're starting to settle to where you're going to need an adjustment.
Yeah, you're not growing. And when you're not growing, you're dying.
Ooh,
We don't want that.
No. We always want to progress forward.
We do, yes. So I love this, and this is what I go through at least once a week. I have a poster in my office. I look at it, and it gives me my big why on why I do what I do. And so I'm going to share this with everyone listening.
Okay.
It's a little poem here or thing in one of the old green books of chiropractic. It's The Inner Power Speaks.
Okay.
So we chiropractors work with the subtle substance of the soul. We release the prison impulse, the tiny rivulet of force that emanates from the mind and flows over the nerves to the cells and stirs them into life. We deal with the magic power that transforms common food into living, loving, thinking clay that robes the earth with beauty and hues the scents, the flowers with the glory of the ear. In the dim, dark, distant, long ago, when the sun first bowed to the morning star, the power spoke and there was life. It quickened the slime of the sea and the dust of the earth and drove the cell to union with its fellows in countless living forms. Through eons of time, it finned the fish and winged the bird and fanged the beast. Endlessly, it worked, evolving its forms until it produced the crowning glory of them all. With tireless energy, it bows the bubble of each individual life, then silently, relentlessly dissolves the form and absorbs the spirit into itself again. And yet you ask, can chiropractic cure appendicitis or the flu? Have you more faith in a knife or a spoonful of medicine than in the innate power that animates the internal living world? You see, Cliff, that's what gets me excited, that last part.
Well, some of the ancient healing methods involved laying on of hands.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more laying on of hands than a chiropractor these days.
And that's what the meaning of chiropractor is. Chiro is hands, the Latin term.
Practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
So practice with the hands.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to get on my soap bubble, if that's
Okay.
what they call it, the soap.
Sure, the soapbox.
The soapbox, that's what it is. What annoys me is when I have patients that come in from other chiropractic offices and they say, you know, they laid them down on the table and they put electrodes, they gave them massages, but yet that patient never received an adjustment.
Yeah, we're talking about like a TENS unit, but without adjustment?
Yes.
Wouldn't you use a TENS unit prior to an adjustment to
You
to
could.
relax?
You could, but oftentimes I tell my patients, go to Walgreens, get that out, bring it to my office. I'll show you how to do it so you can do it at home.
Oh yeah, I've got a TENS unit, and I haven't used it in a while. But my goodness,
It's
I'll
great.
Tell you what, it's
great.
wonderful.
It's great to relax the muscles, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
to move the bone, it doesn't move the bone.
Right.
Our hands move the bone.
Yep.
Yeah, and our practice is so different. You know, patients that we can't move the bone, that's osteoporotic. We have a machine, an arthrostem that helps us to do the adjustment.
Okay.
So it's like an activator. It helps to move the bone. So we're physically moving the bone still. It's just not we're putting any force to the spine. Patients that are scared of the clicking sounds,
Yeah.
right? Or the spine, the bubbling sound. Yeah, we use that as well. One announcement here before I leave. We have a great event that's coming up in Tradition. It's at the Tradition Town Hall. It's going to be the Tradition Health Fair.
All
It's
right.
this Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. There's going to be WellMed's going to be there, the Council of Aging, a whole other aspect of health fair vendors. So if you have any healthcare questions, definitely come on out. It's in Tradition at the Town Hall. And on July 16th at 6:30 in my office, we're going to be going over the Detox Project, giving some key steps on how to detox your body naturally, along with chiropractic, and how to improve your health overall. So you can contact us at our office. It's 772-345-0060.
Wow. And the information is free. You're going to learn some
Free
stuff.
seminar.
Wow. Okay.
July 16th.
July 16th. Okay. All righty. And that'll be at Town Hall at Tradition.
The health fair
The
is
health fair?
Town Hall at Tradition
Okay. All
on
right.
June 25th.
You're going to be there, no doubt.
I will be there.
Joanne, perhaps?
I don't think she'll be there.
Okay. Well, she's into the nutritional supplements. And you're into an actual, chiropractic is recognized as a medical profession.
It is.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
okay.
Yes.
All right, because there's always been a rift between the medical profession and the nutritional supplement people. And
Yeah, and that's where Joanne and I work well together.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can't carry a store in my practice, right?
No,
And she has some great products.
And she can't
that-
do adjustments.
Yes.
So you all work hand in hand together
Exactly.
very well.
So we send our patients to her store to get their stuff that they need to support the healing process.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
My goodness. Well, you want to take one more break before we finish it up? If there's any more questions out there, they can call 340-1590 during the break, perhaps. And we can do that. And when we come back, what are you going to wrap up? How are you going to wrap it up today?
I am going to actually talk a little more about that health fair
All right.
and the events.
All right, July 16th, the health fair, and you're going to learn more about it when we come back on this edition of Joanne's World of Nutrition with Dr. Ravi from Family Chiropractic and Tradition. We'll be right back.
Guiding the Treasure Coast in health, one person at a time. That's their motto at Joanne's Nutrition World, Suite 121, in the historic arcade building on US 1, downtown Fort Pierce. Joanne brings more than 25 years of experience in the natural health industry, right here to you. Take advantage of this free personal guide to wellness and good health. Meet with Joanne herself and get started. Nutrition World always provides you with the hottest new product lines, natural and homeopathic remedies, herbals, and best of all, expert advice from the people who care. Call Joanne at 464-3598, 464-3598, and learn the correlation between diet and great health. Stop in today. The expert guidance to health is always free at Nutrition World. Nutrition World, Suite 121 in the Arcade Building, US 1, downtown Fort Pierce.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And
All right, we got one more segment with Dr. Ravi in for Joanne. Joanne's World of Nutrition today. And Dr. Ravi has been talking about this health fair coming on July the 16th. Right?
The health fair is actually June 25th.
Oh, June 25th.
So next Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday. Oh, I got to get it right. Good thing we came back.
Yes. So next Tuesday, the Tradition Town Hall, there's going to be the health fair.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of different vendors out there. In fact, my wife, who is a dentist, she'll be out there answering any oral health questions.
Right.
We'll have WellMed out there as well, giving information about their services that they offer the community. We'll, in fact, have the Council of Aging of St. Lucie County out there.
Right.
Along with all different types of assisted living facilities and also different other offices, doctor offices. So if you're looking for any type of doctors, definitely come on out. There'll be some fun free giveaways. There'll be free coffee from 1971 Coffee Company in Tradition.
Okay.
So definitely come on out to that.
Wow.
And
Major event, yeah.
the next event is the Detox Project. That one is going to be at my office on July 16th.
Okay.
On July 16th, we're going to be talking about how to naturally detox your body.
Naturally detox.
How to naturally detox. Give your body what it needs to detox.
I know that there are detox plans and programs that you can get a hold of, but there's a right way to do it, I guess.
There are numerous ways to do it. And so, Joanne has a great one, a foot detox bath that she does at her store. Oftentimes I recommend doing that as a simple detox, and it pulls and gives you a whole bunch of different visuals of what is in your body, because the chemicals, you can see the colors that come out in that.
Oh, this sounds interesting, because it reminds me of Joanne has talked extensively about oil pulling.
Oil pulling. That's another type of detox as well.
It's a detox for your whole
oral
body.
Health.
Oral health.
Yeah, and your oral health is definitely connected to your gut health too.
Okay.
And so, we'll be going over those concepts. We'll have some raffles too. So stay tuned. Come on out. The event is once again July 16th.
Okay.
At my clinic. It's in Tradition. The address is 10552 Southwest Village Parkway, Port St. Lucie, Florida 34987.
Absolutely.
And that's in the Target Plaza in Tradition.
Okay.
All right. And so definitely give us a call at 772-345-0060 to make sure that you register and we have a seat for you. So our workshops do get packed, so we want to make sure that you have a seat and you're comfortable to hear the information. It's going to be at 6:30.
Okay.
At 6:30.
A lot of folks are interested in detoxing, because there's all different kinds of ways that you can detox.
Yeah, and we'll be going over, like, if a patient or a person has a certain condition, what's the best detox for that problem? There's not a one box fits everyone approach. Everyone's body's different. And so that goes along with our mission of our practice, is that, we want to lead a health revolution as a compelling choice for chiropractic and holistic living.
Absolutely. And detoxing is a good way to help stay healthy, because detoxing is basically getting rid of the toxins that we've picked up.
Yeah,
along the way.
and we have so many toxins that, you look at our indoor ear,
Yeah.
it's actually more toxic than our outdoor ear.
Okay.
So the things we're on the walls, the floors that we're walking on, these things have chemicals in it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to scare you guys, but all we can do is minimize these exposures, right?
We walk through the rooms with bare feet on floors that have been cleaned with chemicals and bleaches and stuff, and this stuff actually gets into our system through our skin.
It does, yeah. It's through our skin pores.
Wow.
And our skin is the largest organ.
Yep, the
so we
epidermis.
want to make sure we take care of it.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so for the listeners, I have one challenge I would like them to do while we're talking about detox.
Okay.
And our indoor pollution, so the indoor air that we're breathing.
Yeah.
So what I would like everyone to do for lunch today is take your lunch outside.
Take it outside.
Take it
outdoors?
outside. Take it outside and eat.
So
Breathe in the fresh air.
the fresh air as opposed to the confined air conditioned room. that you're
Cubicle.
in. Yeah, the
Yes.
cubicle.
Yeah, switch up your environment. Not only is that good for your minimizing toxins,
Yeah.
but you're getting natural vitamin D
Yeah.
from
the
the
sun.
sun. Yes, yes.
That's right. That natural vitamin D is better than any supplement of vitamin D that you can take.
Yes,
Yeah.
and if if you're low on your vitamin D, great way to get that is through supplementation.
Yep.
And you can get some great supplements at Joanne's Nutrition World.
That's right. That's right. And
Yes.
she'll also tell you that the sun is good for you in this manner.
Yes, and so get outside today for your lunch break, and don't stay confined to your cubicle.
That's a great idea. Why don't we all have like a little picnic today? Just go outside and have lunch.
Have some social interaction.
Yeah, and instead of interacting with the same cubicle, with the same germs and the rotation of the controlled environment, the air conditioning, the HEPA filters are helpful, but they don't get everything.
They don't.
There's all kinds of stuff around the electronics on your desk too, and not to mention the chemicals in the carpet or the floors from cleaning.
Yeah.
You're accumulating all these poisons in your body, and well, we just it's nice to be able to have a way that we can deal with it through detoxing. And
Yeah, and so this workshop on July 16th at 6:30 at our office is going to give everyone that key next step. What can they do?
Wow.
So I look forward to seeing everyone there.
Hour goes by fast around here.
It does.
Wow. We've been having a blast with Dr. Ravi from Family Chiropractic and Tradition. Joanne's guest host today, and you come around about once a month here on the show, don't
Every
you?
third Thursday.
Every third Thursday. Well, the next third Thursday coming up, we're looking forward to seeing you again. And
Can't wait to be back.
don't forget the events taking place later this month and, of course, in July. And what's the phone number for your practice again?
772-345-0060. Or if you want a free consultation,
Yeah.
give us a call or go on Tradition Health to book it over there.
All right. And, of course, Tradition, Family Chiropractic and Tradition is where you'll find Dr. Ravi.
Thanks for having me.
All righty, and this is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast. You've been listening to Joanne's World of Nutrition. This week's special guest host, Dr. Ravi. It's 11 o'clock.